How long does the foreclosure process take in Pennsylvania? In this video, we're going to talk specifically about the quantity of time it takes to foreclose on a property in Pennsylvania. Now, there's two different points to this. First of all, there's foreclosure because I sold somebody a house and I was the bank. There's foreclosure because I am the bank and I lent somebody some money, whatever. Whatever the case is, I am the one that owns the property. I got to foreclose on somebody. Or I bought the property at a tax deed sale and I need to get foreclosed on the property. Two completely different things, okay? But do this, stick around. You're gonna show exactly how this process works by the time we get done with this. I've got a couple little goodies throughout the whole process, so stick around to the very end and we'll reveal those to you, okay? So let's talk about this. How long does it take to foreclose on a property in Pennsylvania? Now, this is super important that you're aware of how this works, okay? Not just in Pennsylvania, but anywhere. Before you ever buy a tax deed certificate, before you ever buy a tax sheriff's deed sale, before you buy a tax lien certificate, any one of those things out there, you need to understand basic foreclosure processes in those areas. It's not complicated, but what I don't expect is you to do it, okay? That would be completely ridiculous, okay? That's like saying, I wanna do surgery on myself because I can save a bunch of money and I have a really good mirror and I can, this doesn't make any sense. Look, it's not complicated, but it ain't easy. How does that sound, Let's just back up here a little bit. When you're dealing with a foreclosure, when you're dealing with a divorce, when you're dealing with a lawsuit to sue a company, you're going to certain courts. There are certain people that work there. There are certain clerks. There are certain judges. And they all know each other, okay? So they know how people are going to react to these things. They're trying to move things forward. Pennsylvania, the courts are backed up. So if I go in there and start foreclosing on a piece of property, and I've never done it before, I'm going to tell you, you're going to irritate some people. Because they're like, you're going to slow this thing down. Now the judge is going to go, well, you really should have filed this paperwork and go from there. I'm just telling you that, okay, right now. So this isn't designed for you to do it. This is designed for information on how you can expedite this process. First of all, they have to miss the payments for at least 1 month, okay, or up to 3 months before you can start the filing for foreclosure. It's called a foreclosure complaint after the 3rd month. Then there's a court proceeding of which the homeowner, well, I really shouldn't call it, the person in the property can file a complaint saying, hey, I've made the payments, this isn't true, blah, 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 and they can counter that. Then there can be a notice of sale. That doesn't happen until the 9th or 12th month of this process. So again, when you're looking at this, part of your process is, should I be doing a property where I am the bank? If I'm the bank in this situation, which I love doing, by the way, carrying paper on this. But if I'm the bank in this situation, you're going, well, wait a second, if I'm the bank in this situation, it's gonna take me a year before I ever even get to a sheriff's sale on this. Now, post-sale redemption period of 9 to 12 months. Pennsylvania offers a limited post-sale redemption period, allowing homeowners, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put all these notes down in the description down below, but only if they are unable to pay the entire debt, including fees and penalties. So this goes back to a tax deed sale. When I go and buy a tax deed at a tax deed sale, what I do know is this. I am just clearing title on the property. All of this stuff has already happened beforehand. This is why we love it so much. Now, if the homeowner is not vacated the property by the time the sheriff's sale happens, the owner must file eviction, and the eviction can take anywhere from about 1 to 3 months, and which is very, very normal for any other out there. Homeowners can respond to this by saying it wasn't supposed to be done, but all of that when you're doing a tax deed foreclosure has already been done up to that point. Okay, again, super important to know that. Now, if I'm buying a tax deed in the state of Pennsylvania, what a great place to be doing business, okay? There's so many little sales that are going on. Now, again, there's 2 types of sales in there. I've got other videos on that. I'm not gonna go into that. But you also wanna do some of the research on that. I've got a whole brand new free course on that. I got a lot more to go. Don't go anywhere. but you can click on the link down below, higginsmethod.com. I got some brand new videos, trainings, a whole new course on that you can watch. So just go to that if you like. But you know, there's a couple of things. When you're buying a tax deed in the state of Pennsylvania, you're buying a property. Okay, so one of the things that you want to look at is the sale. When's the sale coming up? Okay, is this a sale in default, a forfeiture? What type of sale is it? Do I get ownership of the property right away? And how do I clear title? Now, I want to clear something up. When I say, how do I clear title? I don't literally mean you're going to clear title on that property, but you have to have a fundamental understanding of how that process works so that when you do get a property, you know what's involved and you're not surprised by it. That doesn't mean I want you to go out and foreclose on the property. So one of the things that you want to do whenever you're buying a property in any deed state is you're going to say, what is my ARV on this property? That is my after rehab value. That's the first thing I'm looking at. So I'm going, okay, if I'm looking at this property, but Sean, I can't get in and see the property. Okay, I've been doing this for years. Let's assume I'm going to have to do a pretty basic mop and glop. Okay, if I'm looking at the outside of the property and it looks like no one's lived there for a long time, I might do a major one. Okay, there's software out there that you can acquire that'll show you how to do this. And basically you're going through this. Am I putting flooring, a kitchen? What type of kitchen am I putting in there? Medium, moderate, advanced, or high-end, appliances. All of these things, I mean, with the AI that's out there, you should get a pretty good idea. So let's say that this property is going to cost me, I don't know, $52,000 to make it right. Well, okay, I got $52,000 to make it retail available. Now what am I willing to pay for that property, and combining those two, and that'll be my cost basis on this. So now I'm going to know, okay, if this property has an opening bid of $20,000, immediately I got to say I got to put another $50,000 in it. So let's say here's one I'm looking at right now. This property is worth about $360,000 ARV. The opening bid is $6,000 in back taxes. I guesstimated about $48,000 in back taxes. I'm going to round that up. Okay, where's my friendly number? $50,000. I'm helping my daughter with her 10-year-old math, and I'm trying to explain what the friendly number is. The friendly number here is $50,000. I don't need exact. So $50,000 plus 6, I'm already going to be in it. If I get it opening bid, not realistic, but I'll do that. So then I sit there and say, well, wait a second. If I buy it, I'm going to have to tack $50,000 on it. So I'm looking at this property. It's worth $350,000. If I paid $100,000 for this property and I had to put 50 into it, I'm pretty good with $150,000. Actually about $175,000 worth of profit. You see what I'm saying on that? So that's my basis of where I'm going on it. Now, in this, you're also going to have to equate the fact that I'm going to need to clear title on the property. Some of those things just don't go away. So I'm going to have to clear title, which means clear off all the old encumbrances on there that were there before. And that can take anywhere from a minimum of about 3 and to realistically about 6 months. But during that process, I'm fixing up the property, I'm getting it ready for sale or what have you. That might not be the best thing. I could say, you know what, I'm just going to clean up the property, the title on this property. I'm going to get an inspection report on this property. So the inspection report says it's going to cost $50,000 to fix this property up. And I paid, say, $100,000. So somebody comes up and says, hey, we'll give you $200,000 wholesale on this property. That's what you say. You say, you know, and you make that whole Homer Simpson, like, I want to do this property right now because I can potentially make $100,000 without going through the whole rehab. See, that's where I always say in my videos, let the property describe to you what it needs to do. Now, if I go to the auction and I only pay $50,000 for it and it needs $50,000 to rehab, and I'm in the property for $50,000 and I can get $2,500 a month in rent for this property, it's telling me to rent it out. Okay, I want to hang on to this property. There's so many things you need to look at, but most importantly is this. I've got a brand new course on how to do all of this stuff. Again, all you have to do is go to the link down below, higginsmethod.com. All my notes are down there, and we'll show you how to access all this stuff. This is Saen Higgins saying God bless and good luck.